The potter and the clay, how God breaks us to build us up. There's a profound truth in life. Before God raises a person to greatness, he often allows them to go through a season of breaking. Just as a potter reshapes clay to create a masterpiece, God sometimes breaks us down to prepare us for a higher purpose. Today, I'll share an inspiring story that illustrates this truth, supported by powerful Bible verses. The story of Jacob. From deceiver to a man of God. Jacob, the son of Isaac, was a man who relied on his wit and cunning to get ahead. He deceived his brother Esau, tricked his father, and fled to escape the consequences of his actions. Jacob's cleverness made him successful, but it also led to a life of running and self-reliance. However, God had a greater purpose for Jacob's life. He wasn't meant to live as a deceiver. He was chosen to become the patriarch of the 12 tribes of Israel. But before Jacob could fulfill this destiny, he needed to be broken and reshaped by God. The breaking point. Jacob's life reached a turning point in Genesis 32. After years of running, he found himself on the verge of meeting his brother Esau, who he feared might still seek revenge. Alone in the wilderness, Jacob wrestled with a mysterious man throughout the night. Bible verse, Genesis 32, 24-26. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. This man was God in human form, and their wrestling wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Jacob was holding on to his old ways of self-reliance and manipulation, but God was breaking him to transform him. When Jacob's hip was dislocated, he was left vulnerable and unable to rely on his own strength. The turning point. Despite his pain, Jacob refused to let go until he received a blessing. Bible verse, Genesis 32:28. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." In that moment, Jacob's identity was changed forever. The deceiver became Israel, meaning one who struggles with God. His limp became a lifelong reminder that his strength no longer came from himself, but from God. The lesson. When God wants to make someone great, he first breaks them to remove pride, self-dependence, and anything that hinders his purpose. Like Jacob, we may find ourselves in situations that feel like a wrestling match with life. The breaking process can feel painful and humbling, but it's in those moments that God's strength is revealed. Bible verse, 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." God's breaking is never to destroy us, but to prepare us for a greater purpose. It is in our brokenness that he removes what is unnecessary and reshapes us into vessels of honor. Conclusion. If you're in a season of breaking, take heart. Just as the potter carefully works with clay, God is shaping you into something extraordinary. Your pain is not in vain. God is preparing you for a greater calling. Final Bible verse, Jeremiah 18:6. Like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, Israel. When God breaks you, it's to build you into the person he's called you to be. Trust him in the process, hold on to his promises, and you'll rise again stronger and more purposeful. If this message spoke to your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Together, let's grow in faith and strength.